Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to Kevy's RC Hobby Shop. So today we're doing a review on the WLToys model 2307, otherwise known as Flip V. Now they come in different colors, and the one color actually says Flip V on the back of the spoiler. Now the spoiler is held on with Velcro, so is the body. The body's actually Velcro on the front, and your antenna actually holds down at the back, which is kind of nice because you just lift the canopy up a little bit, stick your charge plug in, charge her up for about 40 minutes, and you get over 10 minutes of playtime. Runs a 3.7 volt 120 milliamp LiPo battery that's built into the car. Comes with two sets of tires. The tires that come already on the car are for like in the house on smooth surfaces. The tires that I have on the car right now is the second set. They're much taller tire, and they're designed to go on rougher surfaces like the roadways and what have you, gravel driveway, that sort of thing. And I'm actually going to leave my larger tires on because the nicer advantage too is it does lift the car up. It does have a rear suspension in it, okay, rear end only. Your steering is full left, full right, no choice there. Your speed control is digital though, in that, you know, you push it a little bit, it moves a little bit. You push it a lot, it'll move a lot. You can actually adjust the steering alignment on the vehicle as well from underneath. It has the little switch, so once you get your tires on there and get them as straight as you can onto the rims, just give her a run down the runway and see how straight it goes. If it pulls left or pulls right, adjust accordingly, and away you go. You're set to rock and roll. In the back it has a 5-speed transmission in here, and it has a coreless engine in it. Not brushed, not brushless, but coreless. Now, the difference between a coreless engine and a brushed motor, for example, well, some of the main differences are a coreless engine is going to use less power. Also, they can be made in a multitude of sizes that brushed motors just cannot be made in. And, of course, more speed, more torque, less power drain, longer lifespan also over a brushed motor. A coreless is kind of an in-between a brushed and a brushless engine, basically, okay? So, very good engine. And yes, I did say 5-speed transmission. And you change your speeds manually through your controller. This button here is your downshift, this is your upshift, okay? These two do nothing. Forward and backward, left and right, okay? Don't pay attention to the ABC stuff on here because it's not related to this toy. You also have turbo, which overrides everything, slams it right into 5th gear, and then of course you can turn it off. You have trim control for forward and backwards for your stick movement. Your main power light, charge light indicator when you're charging it. Charger access on the side from the remote. Uses 6 AA batteries. This one's on 49 megahertz. Also, it comes with a USB charger, so you don't kill your batteries in your remote. You can use a USB charger, and when the light goes on this charger, that means your car is charged. When it is off, it means it's charging. And you know, 40-minute charge time for a little over 10 minutes of playtime, that's pretty good. Now they do tell you that it's going to take several cycles at first of the battery before it runs at peak efficiency for best playtime and, you know, quicker charge times too. So you're going to want to keep that in mind. You know, that the first couple runs you may get less than, you know, 6 to 10 minutes. It needs to condition that battery, so you're going to need to run it, you know, a few times. The thing is virtually indestructible. It's very hard to kill even for a toy grade product. It's just amazing. Comes with 20 cones, so you can set up your own circuits or, you know, your own obstacle course. You get 10 blue cones, 10 red cones with it. I've just got the blue cones set up because I don't have a very big space in here. I was going to actually take this thing out on the street, but the traffic's a little too busy today for that, so it's going to have to wait for another video. But we can certainly, you know, play around in here a little bit with it, and this is more of a review on what I found about it so far. Now, I've done my own little beatings with this thing, jumped it off my ramp that I built, and it just takes it. You know, I've flipped it, I've rolled it, I've taken it at high speeds on the road when it's not busy, and just made it roll like crazy, and just can't seem to hurt it. The foam tires act as a suspension themselves, never mind the fact you already have a rear suspension in it. So there's a lot of shock absorption in that. And the body's flexible because it's a hobby grade type plastic. And there's nothing to shatter or break very easily on it because it is held on with Velcro. So, you know, if you do happen to lose your tail fin, you just pop it right back on. It's held on with Velcro. I mean, what could be simpler and nicer? You know, and it's on its own little kind of a plastic spring perch that's pretty rugged. Takes a lot of good, powerful hits to it. You know, so it is a very durable machine for toy grade. I mean, for 30 bucks, I mean, you can't get a decent toy grade machine for 30 bucks other than this thing. You know, even New Bright stuff, for example, which is toy grade. I mean, for 30 bucks, you don't get much out of them at all. This thing is power packed, it's fun, it's fast, does over 30 kilometers an hour, does stunts and all kinds of neat stuff. It's just a wonderful little machine for the price. You know, and so it's a great machine. So I'm actually very happy with it. I decided to bring these into my store to sell because of seeing a few YouTube videos and seeing how durable they are, because I really don't like the idea of carrying much in the way of toy grade unless it's good toy grade. So I always do a lot of research on different RCs, and I look and see how much abuse these things take, and then I decide if, you know, if that's something that I would be willing to carry or not. You know, and this is definitely one that I'm willing to carry. So I've got another one just like this because this is my store demo, but I've also got a truggy version as well, and I'm going to be bringing more of them in. And I've got Hummers, and you know, on a 132 scale machine, it's really nice. The other thing I found that was really interesting about this machine is that if you let it sit for a few minutes like it has been, and I'm trying to move my car, it doesn't want to move. I can't steer, I can't do anything. So I thought to myself, well, maybe it's just because I haven't cycled the battery enough times. Well, I know I have by now. The thing is, what happens, what's not mentioned in the book, is it goes into a power saver mode. So you turn it off, turn it back on again, and you're back up and running. Now, one thing it does tell you in the book is when you're using the regular transmission switching, when you turn, it will affect your speed when you're turning and moving at the same time. Okay, when you run the turbo switch mode, it doesn't affect anything. Now that is actually in the book, so there's nothing wrong with your vehicle if you're finding it's trying to drag its butt too much. This thing's pretty hyper. This is in the turbo switch mode. But I mean, even in the turbo, I can make it crawl. Or I can make it go fast. You know, knock it over. I can spin it on its tires enough, I can knock it back on its feet. Now this thing is also supposed to come with like a little plastic wrap that goes around it, makes like a roll cage for it. Was not in my box when I took this one out, and so I don't really care, but you know, I just go pick up the thing and flip it back over, whatever. No big deal to me. And I could care less for it because it actually really makes the machine that much cheaper when you put that cheesy little plastic roll thing on it anyhow. But there are a lot of different ramp styles you can build for this thing, and make it do like back flips and all kinds of stuff. I've actually made this thing flip itself on takeoff. Oh, I just shot one of the pylons across. So it is pretty powerful little machine, a lot of fun. You know, it's, like I said, very durable. It takes a lot of abuse, which is just amazing for not only a toy grade product, but even something this small. You know, because you think by looking at it close up, it's built pretty cheap, but it's actually built reasonably well, you know, so I have no real issues with this thing at all, you know. And I do like that power saving feature that I found out it actually has one, because that actually will save you, that if you forget to turn off the car, it's going to turn itself off. Now, I don't know as far as, you know, is it going to affect the battery if I just leave it there overnight? I haven't tried that experiment yet. I actually will try that, and I will add a comment onto this video to let you know if my battery was still alive or not tomorrow morning. But, because I know someone's going to ask me that question. So instead of, you know, saying I don't know, I'm going to say, okay, we're going to test that, and I'll let you guys know tomorrow. So anyways, that's the basics of the review. You know, nice little machine, 5-speed tranny. You don't get 5-speed transmissions usually until you get into a higher grade type of machine. So that's pretty cool that you get it in a $30 toy. And I've seen a lot of $30 toys that, you know, they're just not that great, you know, and not a lot of fun either. And you got to entertain your kids, right? And adults too. I mean, this thing's, the age limit on this toy is from ages 6 and up. It's right to adult. So, you know, it's you're never too old to play with any kind of toy anyway. You know, us guys play with hobby grade stuff enough. But even this little thing, that's quite the Wonder Bar machine for the money. And size in the wintertime, you're not going to take anything this size outdoors, but you can play with it in the house too and have a lot of fun even in the winter. You know, oh, there we go, we flipped her over on her back. So that's pretty much about it. So any questions, feel free to ask, comments. You know, physical size in the hand here, that's not very big, guys, but it's a lot of fun, you know. So see you on the next one.